citizens of the Red Fork Empire. This is your Mad Hatter speaking, and the date is but a speck of dust in the wake of an airship's propeller. Invitations were sent out today for the annual Imperial Tea Party. This year's featured tea will be peach and dragon fruit oolong, and the biscuits will be honey vanilla shortbread. All those invited must RSVP to Imperial Tea hostess Miss Kitty as soon as possible. Those RSVPing as attending are encouraged to take part in the parasol display and pocket square folding competition. Those RSVPing as maybe are instructed to bring teacups, saucers, spoons, napkins, chairs, tables, tablecloths, and mints for the rest of us. Or alternatively, grow a pair of social plums and just reply as not attending instead of trying not to hurt people's feelings and subsequently irritating those who have to work very hard to account for everyone who is actually attending so they can work out how many teacups, saucers, spoons, napkins, chairs, tables, tablecloths, and mints that they will need. You're not being polite, you're making life harder for good people. Those RSVPing as not attending are instructed to report to the Department of Obedience for cultural re-education. And all those who did not receive an invitation should not bother showing up. Your invite will not be lost in the post. No one forgot to mail one to you. It was a conscious decision that you were not to be invited, as no one likes you and no one wants to see you. Due to my current incarceration, I will be unable to attend. I wrote to Miss Kitty asking whether the reception could be moved to the Asylum Perpetuum, but she informed me that this would be a difficult arrangement. Instead, I have arranged to have my tea and biscuits delivered to my cell. I do not yet know how I am going to drink my tea and eat my biscuits in this straitjacket, but I am certain that I'll think of something. The new Byzantium Fire Brigade was called to a 5-alarm fire at 15.5 Aldebaran Street this afternoon. The Brigadiers have been enjoying a comfortably positive season thus far, and were feeling confident about the fight, taking an early advantage in the first round and the second, seemingly having their opponent on the ropes. The Fire, however, proved a more tenacious opponent than they had expected, and came back in the third with a considerably effective series of left crosses and right hooks against which the Brigadiers had little defense. The bout was eventually ended when the Fire had entirely consumed the building, claiming victory by technical knockout. The Brigadiers were disappointed by the upset, but were gracious in defeat and bought the Fire a drink afterward. And now, interdimensional news. The Ambassador of Dreams reported from Reich 6291 Delta Rho Mu today, and wired the following telegram. Doom has come to Sarnath. Stop. The chief deity of worship in the land of Nar will henceforth be Bokraug, the great water lizard. Stop. Praised be to Bokraug, the great water lizard. Stop. This has been Interdimensional News. Several citizens passing the outskirts of the Citadel Plains today claim that they might have spotted Emperor Justinian Stanislaus under Tobias, standing on the Grand Citadel's greeting balcony. The Citadel Plains were closed today, so he could only have been spotted from behind the gates, if he was there at all. Eyewitnesses state that their eyes were drawn, as if by force, to the Grand Citadel's balcony, where they could just barely perceive what looked like the shape of the Third Emperor, seemingly phasing in and out of translucence. Accounts differ on how long the Emperor, or image of the Emperor, remained visible, as time itself allegedly seemed to slow to a petrified halt while they were staring at him. And with the Emperor's phantasm fixed in the center of their gaze, many onlookers thought that the blurred horizon on the edge of their visual field began to swirl and twist into a maddening blackness until nothing was left but the Emperor's baleful visage. Perhaps he was there. Perhaps he wasn't. Perhaps it was only a trick of your mind. Or perhaps it was a warning. Ask yourselves, citizens, do you really want to know the truth? I leave you with this. Is there anything sadder than a set of parallel lines? Stay mad, citizens.